På en sån i Nairobi.
Kan vi inte laga mat tillsammans på något sätt? Så Hanna och pappa blir.
Hey, this is why. So dark. Just a few years ago, I had a full set of hair, and now I'm growing bald slowly. A little bit of a morning shopping round today. This is dark. I think this looks better. Oh, Monday today. Feels very good. I'm pumped. New week, new things, and we are going to talk business. So good. The absolute first business idea that I had was to sell rubber bracelets with a print on them, basically, on my Instagram page. In hindsight, it was probably not that good of an idea, but at the time, it felt like the right thing to do. And as you know, we all learn from mistakes. The thing was that I didn't really have a business plan for this. I just wanted to get things off the ground. And what I did was that I decided to order a bunch of bracelets from China without considering the import fees that would be added to the actual cost of the bracelet. So I think I paid around $1 per bracelet for the factory to actually make it, and then I sold each bracelet for around $4. That would mean that I would get a profit of $3. But what I didn't count with was the taxes and the import fees that you had to add on to the actual selling price of the product. So when I first started my business, I actually made a loss because I didn't know how to calculate anything, and I spent way too much money to actually buying the product than I received from selling it. And a couple of years down the line, I basically did the same mistake again. It was not that I didn't calculate with all the costs that was adding on to it, such as the amount of time that I spent packing the actual product and the amount of time that I spent on the design, taking the photos and all that, but I totally forgot the money that I had to pay to import the products to Sweden. And one of the downsides with having an apparel line is that you are buying a big stock that you're then standing with that you have to sell in order to make the money back. So what I had to do was that I had to sell all of the clothes as quickly as I possibly could, but that didn't really generate the amount of money that I needed to be able to pay the import fees. So what I had to do then was that I had to take a loan of around $10,000 to be able to pay that import fee on the products that I also made a loss on, because I didn't really make back the money that I had to invest to be able to pay the import fees. Now that you know the bad choices that I've done, I really hope that you are not gonna make them yourself, because always calculate how much work that you're gonna put in, what the product is going to be sold for, and how much profit you can make the product after all the taxes and import fees. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna stand there with a bunch of stuff that you're probably not gonna be able to make money from. But when it comes to this YouTube channel, this is entirely different because I'm not holding any stock. Nothing that I have is actually costing me money to just have. Something that I realized pretty early on when I was making the YouTube videos and when they kind of took off was that basically everything that I buy and I can make a video from is seen as an investment to be able to get that money back and put back into the channel so I can make more money. I think that the poker b-roll was kind of when I came to the realization of this, because that is also when I saw the most revenue generated from what I've actually invested into the video, because almost everything that you see in that video is stuff that I bought specifically for a shoot that we did 1 year prior to recording the video with the same setting. And when we reused those props to be able to shoot this video, it kind of occurred to me that, okay, if I invest the money that I make from this video into the YouTube channel to create another video, then I can keep doing this until the business becomes self-sustainable in a way that I could never imagine. Basically, the money that the Poker B-roll generated, I took and invested into this studio space as I was moving at the end of 2019. And I'm also made sure to make a video of everything that I bought so that when I was creating this set, I made money for actually investing in my own studio space. And being able to buy new stuff was also a great way to create searchable content for YouTube, which in turn also generated money that I could invest into my YouTube channel. And this is something that I've done for quite some time, and basically trying to take as much of my profit as possible and put it right back into the business, which is this YouTube channel. But when you're doing this, you also got to make sure that you're actually making money from the videos that you're creating. Because if you just make one video that generates a lot of money and you take that money and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't make videos on, then those things are not an investment. That is just something that you have spent your money on. And there's a huge difference between investing money and spending money. And spending money is something that I do not recommend you do, because if you spend money, you're not going to have any money left that you can actually invest. And it's also very important that you think of your business in a way that you don't do with your private economy, because your business is allowed to deduct the things that you use for you to actually be able to maintain and run your business in a productive and efficient way. So for example, this entire studio that you can see is something that is deductible because it helps me to produce YouTube videos in a specific way that I require my videos to be made, and I want the set to look like this, and everything basically fills a purpose. And as I start to reach a point where I kind of feel satisfied with what I got here, I always get new ideas of things I can invest in to create new videos off. And I think that being able to make videos when you buy something is a habit that almost everyone out there that is considering to become a YouTuber should have. Because if you go and buy a workbench, for example, and you make a video of that where you assemble a workbench and you use the workbench in future videos, then that workbench is gonna start to generate money for you as you are using it in your videos. And the reason that I genuinely think this works is because during the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, I have made a bigger profit than I did the entire year of 2020. Think about that.